Hello everyone, so I will start explaining this move superficially. Notice the deck, the whole deck, it is completely in sequence. I always try that the two packets get interlaced at least 1 inch or a little bit more, but not halfway into the deck. That's too much. The card all the way on top must be from the packet that is pointing towards the spectator, and the card all the way at the bottom must be from the packet that is towards me. Okay? It doesn't have to be a perfect Faro Shuffle, but the more perfect it is, the longer it will last. If you don't know how to do a Faro Shuffle, just go to this video description and I'm gonna show you in a different video how to do this shuffle. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect Faro Shuffle like I said, but this is the move. The pinky is pushing against the base of my thumb. Then the middle finger of my other hand is all the way in the front. The index, I try not to keep it stretched, I try to keep it over here. Just the tip, not all the way like that, but just the tip contacting so the spectator can see a lot of this side of the packet. Now, I push down with the middle finger over here and ring finger, and the pinky finger also push down. The index finger of this hand is contacting the bottom card from this packet, not this packet. It has to be from the other one. Then I bend down. Okay, and that's what's happening. You can hear the sound. The sound is the one it sells this move. It's the ones that convinces the most. Then just bring the two packets together, and the middle finger and the ring finger and pinky finger is concealing that section, that part in the front. So the spectator don't really see that these two packets didn't really shuffle. Okay, once again I cut in half, just about there. The bottom packet, bring it towards the back, and then I try to shuffle. This is more of a sloppy shuffle. Now, the move, it is an easy move. The sound, to make it sound smooth and even, that's the only tricky part. The part that is gonna take you more practice. Okay, so I try to keep it at least 1 inch interlace or more. It has to be at least 1 inch, because if you keep it less than 1 inch, look what happened. They get out too fast. So the longer it takes to unwave the cards, it's gonna sound longer and it's gonna be more convincing. Okay, so two things. One, there has to be the more perfect as possible, and two, there has to be at least 1 inch interlace. So like I said, the sounds last longer. Okay, that's from the front. Remember, the card is all the way on top, which is the packet from the spectator. Pointing towards the spectator is the one concealing everything, because it's the one that is lift. Okay, let me show you again so they don't see it. Notice this card, the edge is lift and it's concealing everything. Okay, bring it down and square, and that's it. So one last time before I even started getting into the triumph, the first part of the performance. Notice not all the deck of playing cards works pretty well. Some of them, they have to be prepared to get a good Faro Shuffle throughout the whole deck, but at least I'm getting 2 cards on top, at least one, but in this case I got 2. That's fine. And from this other packet, the one all the way at the bottom is from the one pointing towards me. And the packet that is pointing towards me is the one that is ending. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can even finish like this with an straddle Faro Shuffle. An straddle Faro Shuffle, like I explained, has to be a card from the top and the bottom from the same packet. Okay. I think it is a bit more faster and easier if you get a Faro Shuffle rather than a straddle Faro Shuffle. So that's a personal preference. There is not any specific rule to accomplish this technique. This is really important. Make sure the thumb, this thumb, is not like that. It's not all the way up. When you usually do the Faro Shuffle, the thumb has to be pushing down here. So the thumb has to be absent from the move. If you're watching the performance, I didn't keep the thumb all the way up here. I keep it down here. That's why it is important, even though it's really doing nothing, you have to keep it down here. Don't keep it up here, okay? That's really important, so I don't have to repeat it. There you have it. So what I'm more concerned about is about the sound more than the move, because the move, it is easy, the sound, it is not. To keep it as long as possible and to keep it smooth. When they on wave, they sound the same way as they are shuffling. Okay, and always keep pulling down. The pinky is not just pushing down, but also pulling away from this packet. Okay, just a little bit. All playing cards, they are different, so you have to play a little bit with the deck of playing cards you're using and see what works the best. And because the card that is all the way at the bottom is from this packet, is the last card that is going to shuffle, and therefore it's going to help that the packet rest halfway there and just square and complete. So one last point that I forgot to mention right before I even start getting into the performance is that when you do that shuffle, make sure it is not bevel, okay? Because when you push with the thumb, you may end up with a deck bevel this way. So it is imperative that you keep it straight. Not like this, not bevel like this, but straight. Okay? Because if you keep it bevel, they will notice that the cards, they are not shuffling right in the middle. So just keep it straight and proceed to the shuffle. Now the performance, finally. You can shuffle at this point. If you notice in the performance, I did this on purpose. The first Faro Shuffle that I did, it was real. And that's why the card all the way on top, it was from the packet that it was pointing towards me. So the audience can hear and see the way it looks, this Faro Shuffle. When I start doing the false Faro Shuffle, then the card that is all the way on top has to be from the opposite packet, as I just explained. Now, if you want to know the way I control the selection all the way to the top, just go to the video description and it's going to take you to that technique. However, you have to control the selection all the way on top. Now let's assume the spectator picked the 5 of spades. Okay, so all the way on top already, do a swing cut, and I try to cut a little bit over half. Flip it over, a square, and notice I try to keep the selection all the way on top. After doing the Faro Shuffle, notice the selection is here. This shuffle has to be an extra Faro Shuffle because of the move that I'm doing, but again, as long as you understand the concept, you don't have to do it exactly as I did it in the performance. This card is the selection, so when I flip it like this, I'm gonna slide this card all the way up over here. So it's gonna be better if this deck was more perfectly shuffled, so it doesn't drag 2 cards. So when I do this move, I partially slide the selection halfway there. Once again, I just point and I flip over, and when I flip over, I slide it just halfway there. Okay, then I stretch the index finger and I complete. So I bring the selection all the way into this packet. Okay, then you do the false Faro Shuffle. Notice that's why I did an extra Faro Shuffle, because when I finish doing the spin, the card all the way on top is from the packet that is pointing towards the spectator as well. So I can proceed to this move. You can do 2 things at this point. One, you just flip it over, or I don't like the way it looks, because when you square, it doesn't really look that smooth and that fast. So once again, this card is the 5 of spades with a swing cut, a little bit more than a half of it. So you can do an extra Faro Shuffle, as I already explained in the other video. Okay, and I'm more focused over here. There is only 1 card all the way on top. Okay, so 1 card over here, which is the selection, and also the last card from this opposite packet because of the spin. That's how I want it to end. Okay, so I drag this card in the process of spinning, but I'm just dragging it halfway. Okay, from here to here. Let me see if I can do it by flipping it just halfway, and there you have it. When I flip it over, I use the nail of my index finger so I can keep pushing the packet. Because if you let go, you may end up dropping some cards from here. So I spin using the nail and I re-grip everything. I stretch the index finger over here to keep dragging the selection to this opposite packet. So it's gonna end up facing the opposite way. Proceed to the move, the false Faro Shuffle as I already explained, and just keep it the same. I have half cards face up and half face down. All I need to do is flipping this bottom half the opposite way. If you want to know the way I did it, just go to this video footnote, okay? And that's it. That's how you end up accomplishing this performance.